start putting dollars back into your pocket. And if that payout was a really long time, probably doesn't make sense to do it. That's what Justin said about the auto. That's why the payback is so long. That's like, oh gosh, I could see myself in an accident in the next 23 months. But the house payback could be 12 months. And so that's how you do that math pretty easy.
How do you implement? So you work with, the existing agent and broker. I mean, if they're qualified and can do a good job and proven through the process to be receptive and helping, then there's no reason you can't utilize them in order to, effectuate what you're trying to do. You may need to refer that client to a new, agent or broker. And what I've listed here are kind of the groups that we work with. I put them in alphabetical order just so nobody gets pissy that their group first or not, that they tend to work with more than they don't. But DT Power and Associates used to be Free and Power and Associates, Free and Power Associates. But Dan Power has been, people in the firm have known him for many years. Does a good job, very, very knowledgeable. Size-wise of the company would be its only knock, in my opinion, because the small, which is great from a customer service, great from ability to do a home video of what you're doing, but sometimes it's not.
He outsources that now anyway.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah. So, but it's not as competitive in a broker by having as many available carriers, not just having carriers on the docket, but having enough volume with those carriers that you mean something as it relates for price differences or efficiency. But
so he doesn't have Cincinnati. That's probably one, in my opinion, is the biggest dig is he doesn't have access to Cincinnati.
Yeah. So there, and so that's one to consider, but he's phenomenal. I've put him up against anybody as it relates to knowledge base and just what he knows and what he does. Gregory Nappel is another one that we've had work with. Reeve Erickson's another person that's there, but primarily, more frequently, recently, Mark and Jonathan, they have a size. I wish their customer service was as good as Dan's. It's not, but they have ability to write anything with volume, and they have a lot of internal claims advocates for particular companies that are literally all they deal with are certain companies due to the size. I think by all measures they're the largest in the state as it relates to a writer of property casualty insurance.
Gibson would be in there too. I just realized that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I talked to Trot at lunch, and I felt bad that I didn't put Gibson. Right in Gibson, I'll change the agenda and put on there. I don't know the lady's name, but
Kim Spaulding.
What was his feedback? Or what's is he like he's or is others used?
She's the most responsive person in like the history of the world.
It's almost like painful.
Yeah,
She's really good. You almost had to ask her to cool her.
Yeah, which is good to be that way instead of.
Yeah, I have not, which is probably why she was in front of mine. I didn't mean to leave her out by any reason other than that. But MJ Insurance, it's Deb Roeder, and Deb's is the person that works with. I can't remember her name. I think my opinion. I'm gonna throw some stones here. I think they're manpower size with about a third of the customer service. So as far as scope of what they can write,
they're heavy into commercial, really big commercial, but the home and auto, the personal line.
Kind of an afterthought, in my opinion. Everybody's writing it down. Get it down. So,
yeah, don't take my endorsement or Justin's.
Yeah.
You just need to get